Hi, I'm Debbie Dorman, a financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst with Equity Services and a registered investment advisor. For those of you brave enough to consider remarrying, I have one question. Can we talk? Are you brave enough to join the Second Wives Club? For those of you with minor children still living in the home, the divorce rate for those who cohabit or remarry hovers at 70%. You heard that right. Even if you're an empty nester, some adult children can become resentful when their parents remarry. Milestone events such as birthdays, graduations, weddings, grandchildren, and holidays can become difficult or even hostile. If you have no children, there are still areas of financial concern that should be addressed before saying I do for a second time. Let's discuss some money topics that are typically overlooked in premarital counseling prior to a second marriage. How would you answer the following? You each have a 16-year-old. You've been putting money into a college fund for your child since they were born. It's now well funded. Your new spouse has little to no money in a college fund. When they suggest that since you're now married, you should share the college account between both kids, what is your reaction? Or what if your parents want to contribute money to buy a car for your daughter who is their grandchild? Your new spouse's parents may not be in a position to do so for their grandchild. Your new spouse may not be able to contribute much either. What to do? Even if your spouse understands intellectually that the college fund is for your daughter and your parents should not be obligated to contribute to a car for their child, this can still build resentment and emotional fissures in your marriage. Should you marry someone who has a problem adult child? Let's say your fiance's adult child won't launch, has ongoing addiction issues, and is in and out of jail. They currently live in your fiance's basement. They play video games instead of getting a job or two and maybe finding a home with several roommates. Your fiance is still paying or supporting or subsidizing them, but never gives them a deadline to move out. Do you have an expectation that they will be out of the house before you get married? You may not be from Missouri, but you would be well advised to tell your fiance, show me, before saying, I do. It's worth noting that although the above scenario might be annoying while you're dating, this can quickly escalate to anger and resentment when you are married, and marital funds are being used to support an unmotivated, able bodied adult. If you cannot come to terms and see results before getting married, the chances of change occurring after you marry are slim and none. For those of you in the over 50 gray divorce demographic, if you want to remarry, you need to talk about things, retirement planning. Are you both making maximum contributions to your retirement plans? How would you feel if you're contributing towards your plan while your fiance is a great guy but would prefer buying sports cars, stereo equipment, and luxury vacations? They may never be able to retire. What if in your senior years your spouse becomes ill enough to require a skilled nursing home and they do not have enough to pay for their own care or they have funds and spend down? Are you willing to deplete your own nest egg earmarked to support yourself for the rest of your life and to eventually pass to your kids and grandchildren? Prenups are not just for the wealthy. Put this in writing well before your wedding so both parties can consult their own attorneys and financial advisor to assist with funding to make changes if needed. There are many ways to protect your assets should you remarry. Here are just 4 ideas you might want to discuss with your attorney and financial advisor. 1. Upon death or divorce, what's his is his and what yours is yours. Number 2. Upon the death of one spouse, the surviving spouse receives income only from the investments of their late spouse. If the surviving spouse cohabits, remarries, or dies, the estate passes to the intended heirs. Number 3, life insurance. If your fiance spouse can medically qualify for life insurance, they can take out a policy and list you as a beneficiary. And lastly, 4, the home. If you purchase the home together, how is it titled? Tenants in common or tenants in the entirety? In the former, you would inherit the home upon his death. In the latter, his heirs would inherit his portion. At that point, you would need to buy out his share at the current market rate which may have appreciated greatly, or sell and split the proceeds. It is also possible that your late spouse can provide you a life estate to use the house, and then it would be sold upon your death. The proceeds would then be split between his heirs and yours. I am not making specific recommendations to you. These are some ideas to explore. Everybody's situation is different. This is why you need to communicate and work with professionals. Do not sign anything that is put under your nose the day before or on your wedding day. That's a big red flag. Run. If you're seeking a smart, compassionate financial advisor for the next chapter in your life, I'm Debbie Dorman. I can be reached at 770-512-5131. My contact information is listed below, and please reach out to us if you have an interest in attending any of our no-cost boot camp for divorcing women workshops that are held between February and September. Thank you and connect with you soon.